Jordi, you guys had multiple times where you guys were fighting to come back in this one. Just what did you make of just the Suns' ability to close it out, and what were some of your main takeaways from tonight's game?
Yeah, proud of the effort and keep fighting and, cut the game to 2 possessions. And I think that means a lot. I know that's not what we want, but, once we got to that level of physicality and intensity, I think we were pretty good and we give ourselves a chance. Once again, the game was called like a rugby game, and it is what it is. We cannot control that. So we got to keep fighting.
When the team was having those comebacks, what would you say kind of sparked those type of stretches where you guys were able to close in the gap?
I think many players just brought energy, and I think Zire was great. I think Nolan did good things. I think Tyrese in the second half, Jay in the first, Nick. I thought everybody contributed to bring the game back, all 10 players, because at one point they all were a big part of either keep fighting or bring the game back. So I would have to watch it, but proud of the group. I think everybody had good intentions, and at some point, once we matched that level of physicality, I think that's when we saw good things happening.
Jordi, what do you see as the main issues in the team's perimeter shooting defense as of late?
Right now is not finishing possessions and not getting back. I mean, they've made threes in transition, and they've made threes out of second chance. Other than that, I think that if every time we control the fast break or the transition defense is good, and every time that we rebound, we win games. And I think you can go back to all these games and do your numbers.
It seemed like Phoenix was playing a little bit off of Drake, or going under screens, maybe short closing. Did you think that he offensively played with the aggression or responded to that, I guess, in the way you would like?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's rookie, and this league, they're gonna make you have to prove yourself, and he's not worried about any of that. He shot his first one, I think, and the first two went in, and he kept shooting. His line is pretty good. I just will need everybody 1 through 5 or all 10 players to help on the boards. I know he's better than one rebound. Just gotta keep hitting bodies, gotta keep fighting for 50-50s, and not just him but everybody else. So proud of Drake. He played aggressive, like you said, and it's good to see that he's letting it fly.
Hey, Coach. What did you make of Zaire's effort after he fouled Dylan Brooks in the second quarter to kind of close out that second quarter?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Z played with incredible energy, and that was contagious, and that was a main reason why we came back. So I don't care about that foul. I don't care about any other fouls because he's been picking up full court. He's been being aggressive. He always leads us in deflection, so he just gives us that positive energy that we all need, and it was good to see him back on the court.
For someone like Terrence, you've talked about how important his veteran leadership has been to this team. But when you see him playing like he did tonight, being aggressive, scoring, looking for his teammates, what kind of impact does that have on the entire offensive flow?
Yeah, I mean, you see the 8 assists to 1 turnover. That's elite. And I think that, we trust him to bring the ball, be a situational point guard at times, keep telling him to let it fly when you open, and he made 2 of them. So he was great. I mean, defensively also, I think that his level of intensity and ball pressure has gotten better, and I think he did a really good job. So his voice is growing. He's, saying the right things over and over again, and also doing the right things. So a lot of times that leading by example goes a long way. So very proud of him, and he's making a big impact in this group.
MPJ is obviously a tough shot maker, but at least just from the eye test the last few games, it seems like some of the looks have been very difficult. Just the overall shot diet. Have you seen any difference in the looks that he's getting as of late? And if so, why do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean, obviously team's game plan for him, and this is also a team with multiple perimeter defenders that can switch into him. Obviously, I can help him a little bit more with set him up in a different ways that he can free himself up a little bit. But I think that 2 or 3 of those looks were like shots that he doesn't miss. So if he would have made 1 or 2 more, it would have been like a great percentage. And a couple of times the ball was in and out, and those are the things you cannot control. So I don't expect him. Like, again, we see a 2 for 10. It could have been easily 4 or 5. Like, it's just like, I'm not worried about it. I just got to keep helping him a little bit more with setups, how the defense is guarding him. They're switching out, so he's going to have to slip early or screen his own and finish cuts and get the shots on the second side instead of like chasing the ball all the time. So just, helping a little bit more, and I'm completely fine with the 10 threes that he shot. Probably he could have shot a little bit more. So yeah, happy with him. He was aggressive, and we need him because he, as you know, he creates a lot of attention.
Terrence, you guys found multiple ways just to fight back in this game and cut it to single digits. What was just the overall difference maker that allowed the Phoenix Suns to close out and get the win?
I think their ability to make open threes. We were kind of giving them that shot, trying to live with that rather than a Devin Booker ISO. So just the ability to make shots down the stretch. They're a veteran team. They've been in games like this numerous times, so didn't really shake them.
When things were going right and you guys were able to cut it close, what can you guys take away from those type of stretches that you guys can need, especially going forward?
I think we were, when we were pushing it and having good runs, we were able to get organized earlier in the shot clock and get good quality shots. And every time we did that, I think, we were in the game at that point.
These last couple of games, have you seen, and I understand every game has its own character, but have you seen a common thread defensively with some of the issues that you guys have had, particularly, perimeter-wise?
Yeah, I guess so.
How much different, how adjusted are you to playing offensively in a way where you have the ball in your hands a lot more of the time than you have, in some of your past seasons, I guess? You're a vet. I don't want to say is the game slowing down, but is the game feeling easier with the ball in your hands as the season progresses?
Totally different look for me. I haven't had the ball in my hands seriously since my my rookie year. That's when I played mostly point guard, so it's been 6 years since I've been on ball for most of the game. So a lot of different looks, just a whole different ball game that I'm slowly getting used to. That's really, what it is. It's just a slow grind for me. And I never know where I'm going to be, whether it's, playing mostly out of the corner or playing mostly on ball. I'm just here to do my job and show these younger guys, how to be a pro.
Continuing with that, obviously, we've talked to you throughout the season. Jordi has talked about he's asking you to be, the veteran in the locker room, and depending on which guards are available, you might have to handle the ball or be off the ball. How has it been trying to adjust to where your role could be different on a nightly basis? How hard has that been?
It's not easy, every day is something different, but, I'm a pro. I get paid to do this. This is my job. I've been playing basketball since I was little. It's a game. So I'm going to tackle the challenge every day and have fun with it.
I just want to circle back for a second. What do you think are some of the main lessons that you've learned that you are now trying to impart, maybe some of the, less obvious ones that you really learned with experience that you want to impart on these young guys?
I think that not every night's going to be your night. A lot of these young guys come from situations where, they have the ball most of the time. They're the main guy on the team. And, they're expected to always play well and expected for shots to always go in and expected to always have every play call for them. And there's a lot of money to be made in this league not being that person. Being a guy that's waiting on his turn, being a guy that comes every day on time, being a guy that gets extra shots, being a guy that stays late, comes in early, being a great locker room guy, respecting everybody in the locker room. So there's a lot of money to be made when you're that guy. And a lot of people come to this league and they just want to be that guy. They all want to be that all-star. They all want to take 10-plus shots a game. They all want to, play 30 minutes. But, that's not what it's all about. And a lot of championship teams understand that. And that's really what I want to bring to, this organization.
Zaire, ultimately, what did it take for you guys to fight your way back into this one, and what did it come down to?
Oh man, it was a real physical game out there. Credit to them. They punched us in the mouth first, and we just try to respond, master physicality. They're a good ball club, man. They play really well together. Ball was moving, so it took a lot of second and third efforts out of us today. But we put up a fight. Just got to clean up some stuff and be better next game.
You helped give this team a huge spark. It's your first game since January 7th after your illness and reconditioning. How was it just being back out there on the court?
Man, it was amazing. All glory to God. I'm just grateful just to be out here. I woke up one morning feeling fine, and then I ended up sick and missing games, and it was just a reminder of just how anything could be taken away from you at any time. So, I've just spent just a lot of time in prayer and just thankfulness, and just all glory to God, man. He helped me get back out there, and I miss playing with these guys for sure.
The way that you guys started, I guess, in the first quarter, giving up 70-something% shooting. I mean, was that in your mind? Was that them just hitting some shots, or was that something that went awry with you guys defensively and the way you guys were communicating?
They're a great team, man. When we went over and scout, they told us, they're number one in three-point attempts in transition, and we saw that real quick. So they gave us the game plan. It just took us too long just to really dial in, and we dug ourselves in a little hole. But I'm proud of the guys for fighting, man. We could have easily said, just wash this game away and take the L. But they kept fighting. Kept ball pressuring, and we made some good strides, and I thought we got better today.
Z, coming off that illness, what was that return to play process like for you?
I just had one little stay-ready game, I think 2 days ago, just one, and that's it. You could run on a treadmill, you could run 30 miles on a treadmill, but it's nothing like going up and down and playing defense and picking up full court. So I don't really need much to get back in shape. I just, just more so just game reps. So, credit to the staff. They got me right, ramped me up really well. I spent some days in the weight room. And, I felt great out there. It took me a little bit to get my win right, but, it's part of the game. So I'll be even better next game.
Hey, Zire. So Coach said he didn't mind that foul on Dillon Brooks, like in the second quarter. Do you remember which one that was?
Yeah, I thought that was a bad call, if you ask me.
For sure. That was good defense, but sometimes it goes one way or another. But anyway, what does it mean for you to hear from Jordi that he didn't mind that foul, especially because you're pressuring ball handlers and especially because it helped you get back in the game?
Yeah, for sure. It's always great when you know your coach has your back. And, the refs are human. There's going to be good calls. There's going to be bad calls. I played with Dillon for 3 years, so I knew that pump fake was coming. So I made sure to stay down. But Natalie, she thought I got off the floor, and she made the call. So, at the end of the day, that's what it is. Just got to move on and be better. But I am grateful for Jordi, and he's always has the player's best interest, and he's always looking to get our backs, especially when it comes to the refs. So definitely appreciate him for that.
The numbers would say that you've played really well over the last month or two since, I guess, you fell out of the rotation in early December for just a couple games. Do you feel like you are playing better, aside from, three-pointers going in? Do you feel like, Jordi publicly said he challenged you, you've been back in the rotation, your numbers look good. Do you feel like you've been playing better, or is it just one of those things where kind of the ups and downs of like an NBA season?
I don't want to say it feels like I'm playing better. I feel like I'm just being more aggressive. Like, I feel like I was trying so hard to be perfect, and, I feel like my superpower is to be active and be everywhere. And there was early in the season I was trying to pick and choose of when I should do that rather than kind of just being like that the whole game. And I feel like that's helped me just think less, just hoop. I've been playing this game since longer than I can remember. So yeah, it's just really just less thinking and just being myself, being active, trying to get deflections. And, my team needs me to do that. So I'm trying to step up to the best of my ability.
Ziaire, now that you've been in the league for a little while, when you think back to coming into the league, what are like the hardest parts of this part of the schedule where a lot of games, few amount of days, also in this stretch too, a lot of flights back and forth? Like, what are the hardest things about this, and how did you kind of adjust as you got into the league?
Yeah, for sure, man. It's tough. Consistency, man. That's the hardest thing about it, honestly, is, in middle school, high school, even college, it's a game here. You get 3 games to watch film, decompress, and the NBA is figure it out. We got a game tomorrow. We got a 2-hour flight. You're going to land at 3 in the morning, and you're going to play a game later that same day. So, never being too high, never being too low, just trusting the process. There's going to be good days, bad days, but I feel like just reminding to just always have that gratitude just to be out here and be able to compete and, live out your dreams. We try to keep it in that perspective. It makes your life a lot easier. As a rookie, it's real easy to be stressed out on games, and they always say you hit that wall or whatever the case may be. But you just take it one day at a time and try to, like we always say, just get that 1% better each and every day. It makes your life a lot easier.
Ziaire, you mentioned Dylan Brooks and how you guys were teammates in Memphis. To be 2 defensive-minded guys, just what did you learn from him coming into the league during that time? And also, what is it like to go from being his teammate to then now going up against him and having to battle it out and maybe potentially hear some trash talk?
Yeah, for sure. I love Dylan to death, man. That's my guy. That's my big brother. He taught me so much, man, and it's really dope to see him really flourish this year. I feel like he's an all-star in my opinion, and these same shots he's been making in these games are the same shots I saw him shoot every day, even before a game, even after a game. Like, he's literally playing 30, 35, 40 minutes, and right after the game ends, he's in the practice gym getting more reps up, and that's just the worker he is, and it's no surprise that he had 27 tonight. He's shooting the ball at a really good clip, and he just looks confident out there. And he's a great teammate, man. I hate playing against him, but love him on your team. His competitiveness is second to none, and I definitely learned a lot of tips and tricks from him. Man, he's just ultimate teammate, man. It's impossible not to love him on your team, and I'm definitely appreciative of the time we spent together, for sure.
On a moderately related question, as a guy that's kind of prides himself on his activity and his defense, I'm curious what in the time that you've played alongside Drake, what do you see as kind of his defensive potential with his athleticism and that wingspan and lateral movement? What kind of ceiling can this guy have defensively?
I don't think he really has a ceiling defensively, if you ask me. His length, his athleticism, he has all the stuff you can't teach. I always tell him now it's about, really dialing in the film, knowing tendencies, as the older you get in this league, the more this guy likes to step back left. This guy likes to, post spin off his left shoulder or whatever the case may be. But his intangibles, man, they're amazing. And even though that game-winning steal he had the other night, and it's always great to have someone playing defense with you that is capable of reading and switching on to the best player with you and picking up full and having your back. So the sky's the limit for him, man. He's a great kid, great humble kid. You could tell he comes from an amazing family, and I'm happy to have him on our team. He soaks in all the knowledge like a sponge, and he's a great locker room guy. So, like I said, just got to stay focused 1% at a time. It's going to be good days, bad games, but, just staying even-keeled and just trusting the process, and he'll be just fine.
This was game number 41 for you guys. Is there any specific lesson, anything that you feel like you learned in the first half of the season that you're now going to want to take into the second half?
I'm sorry, say that one more time, my bad.
So you guys are at the halfway point of the season right now.
Okay.
Just kind of looking at the first half, is there anything, you as a team or you as an individual, you think you kind of learned that, you want to now take into the second half of the season?
Yeah, for sure, man. It's a whole list of things. off the top of my mind, we just got to just start better. I mean, we started off 0-7, and we figured it out. Even with tonight, we started off a little slow, and we figured it out, and it just came up just short. But, it's all growing process, growing pains, and the best part is, we have a full locker room of guys who want to win and want to compete at the highest level. So I feel like that's the hardest part is to, find a group that loves each other and enjoys going to war with each other every night. And we have that, and that's the culture that Jordi and the rest of the staff are building. So, we'll figure it out, and there's a lot of better days ahead. Just got to stay with the process.